Judge Fee released Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, from jail and granted Melly's lawyers an opportunity to seek his release as well. Following her release, Hamilton expressed gratitude to her family and friends in a Facebook post on February 9th, writing, "And to my village, thank you. To my village, I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." She also voiced her discontent with the courtroom proceedings being broadcasted on local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
However, the new judge took note of how long Melly has been in custody, leading to the announcement that he must make an informed decision regarding his legal representation. Melly has been incarcerated for over 2,100 days.
No, let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for, and then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
You will decide that tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
The judge was shocked that Melly has been behind bars since February 2019 without a verdict. He made it clear that prosecutors must provide a solid justification for why Melly shouldn't be granted bond. In response, the prosecutors took a controversial step. They are now attempting to pressure Bortlen into testifying against Melly in the upcoming trial. They have even filed paperwork to have both Bortlen and Melly tried together in the same case.
Here and you try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together, just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. We're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
If Bortlen is also facing charges for the deaths of Sack Chaser and Juvie, despite knowing he wasn't responsible, he may feel pressured to shift the blame onto Melly. Throughout the entire process, Bortlen has remained loyal to Melly, except for when Melly's legal team attempted to pin the crime on him during the first trial.
Were his lives. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, or where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car, two bodies, car, riddled with bullets. When he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he is a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody had the phone in the pocket, not Cortland Henry.
According to Melly's lawyer, it was always Bortlen who lied to the feds, had gunpowder residue on his hands, and was the first person seen with Sack Chaser and Juvie after they were killed. A forensic scientist later confirmed the presence of gunpowder residue on Bortlen's hands during the original trial.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained two component particles, and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of residue and one two-component particle.
And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was residue present on the hands.
Bortlen wasn't happy about this, so when Melly's first trial ended in a mistrial, he posted a cryptic tweet the same day. The tweet read, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji, making it seem like he might be accepting some kind of deal. Meanwhile, concerns are growing that Melly may be struggling financially to afford his legal fees. Reports have surfaced revealing that his mother started a fan subscription account. In an interview, she spoke about why she created it and how much money she has made from it.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This caught the internet by surprise, with DJ Academics weighing in and sharing his thoughts on the situation.
YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's going to be starting her own. And I got to be honest with y'all, man. This is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably can name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money. Like, no way, no how.
Academics believes it's not about money. However, social media didn't agree.
Academics argues that it's not about the money, but social media disagrees. In an interview with No Jumper, YNW Melly's mom and brother discuss his spending habits. While his mom downplays any issues and insists everything is fine, his brother calls out Melly for his reckless spending.
I would assume that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry? You're not here to wear the jewelry.
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend.
That's what I throw. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for him. He's fine. But it's just like, there's a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want to change no more.
In Melly's mother's defense, she has been through a lot with his ongoing trial, and may be using this as a way to distract herself from the stress. There have been many instances where Melly had to check in and ask if she was okay. Melly's financial troubles are about to get even worse. The state is launching a new case against him for witness tampering, alleging that he was behind Mariah's disappearance before the first trial. Prosecutors claim he orchestrated her, leaving the country so she wouldn't testify. If convicted, this charge alone could result in a life sentence. On top of that, it's a separate case, meaning he'll have to spend even more on legal fees to fight the new allegations.
Filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
With Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah involved in the second trial, she could be the one to seal his fate. People from her hometown claim she allegedly spoke to him on the night of the crime, which could be a crucial piece of evidence. As for the witness tampering charges, Juvie's father investigated Mariah's disappearance and uncovered the alleged tactics Melly used to keep her from testifying in the first trial. If proven, this could add even more trouble to Melly's legal battles.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone. He was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Like me, they're going for extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah's mom. They was using code words like Rihanna, and they said Rocky's baby mom.
With the state pursuing a witness tampering charge against Melly, they've completely cut off his access to jail phones and restricted his ability to read his mail. This crackdown has sparked backlash, with his mother, Jamie King, speaking out about the situation. She argues that it's unfair since he hasn't been convicted of any charges yet.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
With the jail revoking his privileges, it's likely they have evidence of Melly's alleged witness tampering and are holding it for court. Authorities can't risk him communicating with the outside world and potentially interfering further in his cases. However, this doesn't make things any easier for his mother, Jamie King. In a recent interview, she expressed her heartbreak over the situation, saying she's devastated for her son.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Jamie King's claims about Melly not being treated fairly in jail have sparked attention online. Among those weighing in was Charleston White, who didn't hold back, stating that this is exactly how Melly deserves to be living behind bars.
The YNW Melly. I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play, think somebody.
Even Boozy spoke out, acknowledging how stressful this situation has been for Melly's mother.
Okay, then I met his mama while he was in. Okay. I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
You stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. When I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through. Bro.
Melly's lawyers have been scrambling to present any piece of evidence that could help secure him a bond. When a new judge took over the case, they pointed out that prosecutors in the first trial had admitted no firearm was ever found.
So the first reading I didn't have one, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this dissertation because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
They also argued that GPS evidence shows Melly was running down the street at the time of the crime, and that he was texting his girlfriend while it was happening.
The car saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, and I'm hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sam and Judy? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
This wasn't enough to secure Melly a bond, but the worst part is that prosecutors have continued investigating his case while awaiting the retrial. Over the past year, they claim to have uncovered his motive for the crime. They discovered that Melly had a close connection to King Von before his arrest, and in a recent interview, a former O-Block member alleged that Melly once asked King Von how to handle Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vern was mad at me, bro. Why you put that, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
The former O Block member claims that Sack Chaser and Juvie were taking a significant share of YNW's revenue, despite not contributing as much as Melly and Bortlin, who were constantly working, putting on concerts, securing brand deals, and selling merch. This allegedly created tension within the group. Given King Von's reputation and street mentality, you can imagine what his response might have been when Melly brought up the issue. Prosecutors argue this provides a clear motive. Melly wanted to split the business 50-50 with Bortlin instead of settling for a four-way 25% split. When you combine this with evidence of Melly allegedly bragging about committing the crime, things are looking increasingly grim for him.
Again, we asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that,
Investigators also discovered a Facebook Live video on Melly's phone, showing how he and Bortlin were acting just hours after their best friends had passed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! The dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
The video showed no signs of sadness or grief over the loss of their two best friends. Seeing how Melly handled the situation emotionally, prosecutors dug deeper into the case, turning their attention to the Jeep they were driving that night. Sergeant Williams later confirmed that a drive-by shooting was impossible, further challenging Melly and Bortlin's original story.
How many rounds were inside?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As you thought it was Christopher Thomas. Where did that
Driver's side back seat. My determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here. It's at a stationary position when all one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
With confirmation that the crime was committed by someone inside the car, Juvie's mother identified who was sitting in the back left seat that night, potentially providing a key piece of evidence in the case.
Can you say your name before we make your
Leon.
And are you related to one of the groups in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's it?
With his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
Can you state your name? Leon. Okay. And are you related to anyone in this case? Yes, I am. How so? Tom, his mother. And who is that? Christopher Thomas. Miss Phillips, did you see who entered the Jeep? Yes. Do you recognize where your son entered the Jeep? Yes. Which seat, if you can identify for the jury? He got in the back seat on the right-hand side. Did you recognize the individual who got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side? Yes. And who was that individual? Yell.